All right, good morning traders and welcome to the Bookmap Advanced webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. I'll be your host. We're going to go through live market analysis, forward-looking, not hindsight. And this is based off of our educational course so that you can learn and apply the information from that course directly in the live markets and see someone go through it. Now, we have many different webinars and educators in here. We have JTrader tomorrow at this time. He's going to go through stocks trading. Typically, we have Scott Pulcini, a futures trader, Thursdays, but he will not be presenting this Thursday due to the U.S. holiday. Right after this webinar, we have Tom B. He will be streaming in YouTube and in Discord. And then we have Doug Pless, Options with Doug, right after that. And then after that, we have the Algo Boys going through their proprietary levels and order flow. We have quite a lineup. We have quite an education here. It is free. Come to our Discord channel, check it out, and also on YouTube. You can see a lot of it as well. All right, so let's take a look at these markets here and go through the disclosure as well. Just a minute. Okay, general disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. We're going to look at the S&P E-mini and see what's going on in here. All right, so just right away with the order flow immediately. Let me clear the drawing here. And what we're looking at, all right, well, high liquidity right up here at 75. Now, this is a very curious level here that we saw yesterday, and now it's filled. These guys have been in here since yesterday, so they just got filled. Guys, this is how, understanding liquidity is so important. Understanding where these larger players want to deal, and they got filled. It traded right into them. Their position, they are short up here, or they covered. Whatever, doesn't matter. We know the transaction that took place here. It's in the order book historically, and unfolded in real time here as well. Okay, we see this nice little boost at 8 o'clock due to some data. It looks like up into this into that 75 level, and it went a little bit higher, sold off right at the 930 cash open, but we're still bullish in here. All right, and now the reason that we're still bullish in here is looking at the market structure. All right, so the market structure is something we covered yesterday in some detail, and we always cover it. So it's that important. Look at this range here. Look at this range here. Okay, now this did break down, and in fact, if we zoom in here, we can see another kind of range within the range here, and we can get a little more precise maybe with this previous rectangle here and go up to the swing right there, and you can see they kind of match up, right, at this 71-ish level, and we are bouncing back above it. Right now, we talked about this yesterday. This structure, this kind of structure, we're bullish. We're making higher highs. We're seeing more buyers. They're filling liquidity on the offer up in these areas, and then we're looking for support here, and they are here. They're on the bid now at a higher level. This is bullish. Okay, what happened though? They traded. I mean, it went right into them. They traded down here as well. Price went lower. They traded into these levels here as well. Now we look at the last kind of gasp or last point here for these for being bullish in here. Okay, and we look at the high volume node, and this is what we talked about yesterday in the structure. There's a few in here. There's also one here. It's a little bit lower than these high volume nodes here. It's not truly the point of control, but let's just mark it up. right in here at 62.5, and let's mark up this one here as well. All right, and see what did price do exactly at those levels. Okay, well, it went below it here. It didn't quite touch this one down here, and then it reversed. Okay, and so basically we're still bullish in here, and we're back up here, and you see a lot of buying. Right, so what are we looking for in the order flow right now? Well, on this view, and you can see they're supporting it here. So we're looking for buyers to come in, trade up into 80, and then maybe break out. Maybe there's enough buying to break out and hit 85 up here. Okay, so that is the primary read here. Okay, so but let's zoom in a little bit further and get more insight here. All right, so we'll look at we'll draw a few diagonal lines here as well as horizontal lines. We can see kind of a trend line in here and in here, and we're still bullish. Going through the different scenarios in here. So what we're looking for is buyers up here and for the move up into 80. Right, as simple as that. Now, the opposite scenario, we got to go through these scenarios and what the order flow may look like. What if this fails? How do you handle it? This is the risk management part, and this is, we don't know what's going to happen here. We're going to go with our primary scenario, but we got to go through others. And in this case here, let me double check here. We'll get to that in just a minute. Make sure that I am broadcasting okay. Everyone can hear me. Yep, good morning, Tony. You want to go over screen share, the icebergs, okay, and the settings, sure, no problem. And then in Discord here, let's see, I think we're good. Let's see. Good morning, JC. Good morning, Nomad J, and then Bert. Wait for the Algo Boys actually going to talk. You never heard them. Okay, yeah, no, great stuff over there. I would highly recommend you go check it out. One of the things that's important, we want to offer you all is different ways of trading, different trading ways of managing the trade, outlooks on the market, different time frames, strategies, etc. And the Algo Boys are doing something very particular, right? And what it comes down to is in essence, it's the same thing we're all doing. We're looking at levels and then order flow around those levels. So they're looking at their proprietary levels. Now, so you might want to check that out. You want to check out volume profile? Go to Tom's room, okay? The Traders Lab. And then you want to trade options and look at higher time frame kind of structure in the options and then the order flow. Go to options with Doug. Guys, I'm kind of proud to offer all these different things. That Bookmap can now do that. We're bringing on these streamers. It's excellent stuff, and think that you can get a lot out of it. Anyway, I hope you do. And very happy to bring it to you guys. Here's our primary scenario, and is playing out just beautifully. All right, the secondary scenario though I wanted to go through as well. Maybe this will fail up here, we'll see, but it is breaking out and on high volume. Okay, now it traded into that high liquidity up here, but now we need to see some follow through in this move. So it looks like we're going to get a bit of a pullback here. It might pull back to about 78, maybe 77 or so, but we don't see that yet. We're just going to go with the flow until we see something different, right? This is kind of a key thing to understand. Just go with the flow until you see something else. Wait for the behavior of the traders to tell you something different. And right now they are bullish. Okay, they're bidding up. This is one of the elements in here we didn't have yesterday, so a lot of those things we looked at weren't as high probability because it was dark underneath here, right? So the sellers can bring it down to these areas rather quickly, but you can see they're supporting it here at higher levels. They are staying in the order book here. Typically, we like to see them pull, and then it's easy for the buyers. We're looking for those big green dots to lift the offer up into higher levels here. So our next level would be like well, 83 and then 85 here. Okay, and it looks pretty good too. All right, I would go with it until we see something different. Just note we are getting up here at some of these higher levels, and we don't see anything different right now though. But that's the key, right? So we stick with it until we start to see something else. All right, so this will keep you in your trades, and the order flow is helping you keep in your trades, stay in your trades, get your runner out of this move. And there you go, there's 85. Okay, and it's, well, we still don't have any reason to think any differently, right? Just look for where pullbacks might. Let's go through the opposite scenario. Let's just do that. All right, opposite scenario, what does it look like? Well, we maybe they're on the bid only down here, and we see it really dark underneath here, or maybe they start to like add liquidity in here, but they pull, or maybe it transacts. Maybe we see big red dots in here, okay, and they're going to pull it down and retest 82. Okay, so you know, we're looking for some of these scenarios to unfold. Okay, so they're supporting it here still in the book, but they are starting to pull. Now look at them come right back in. Okay, now what's the reaction? This is what we want to read. They're staying in the book, but sellers are now interested, and they're taking them on. They traded into these guys. That was not the case previously. Okay, they show high liquidity here, and it repelled price, right? Now they show high liquidity in here, and sellers want that price. They traded into it. See the difference? Look at them even cap it here. They're adding liquidity. They were on the bid here, now they're on the offer. Okay, so we're reading the behavior in here, and it's starting to change a bit. Now, what about the bigger structure, at least in this time frame here? We're still bullish. Okay, so we're making higher highs and higher lows still. We're not seeing big selling coming in, so maybe it's just some profit taking right now. When we start to see a shift and a change in here, and we start to see big selling coming in and a shift in the order book as well, that's what tells us something. Okay, the behavior of these traders in here tell us something, and we just don't see it right now. Okay, not yet. Now, we don't know, right? You have to embrace that we don't know. All of a sudden, what if there's just massive red dots in here and just whips it right down to 79 and maybe even 76? Anything's possible. But we go with what we see and what we know right now. All right, so yeah, we're still bullish until we see something different. Yeah, it's getting kind of interesting now. We're starting to can't make a higher high here. And we saw this order flow in here that's a little more bearish in here. And then let's see what's happening right in here. What if we get red dots at 81? All right, I would be looking for them to try to sweep the order book into these levels here. And these guys may pull at that point. Okay, so these are the different scenarios we're going through. And we're looking to get some insight from some of these scenarios. Here they come. Now let's see if they sweep it into this liquidity here. Okay, we're already at 80, and now let's see if we can get down to 79.50, and maybe even lower here. All right, so now we're still bullish. There's still, you know, the swing is here, and they're just testing it. Okay, so maybe we're looking for some back and forth here right now. Right, so these are the scenarios we're going through, and the back and forth would look like this in a range. Okay, and up to this top of this range, top of this smaller range in here as well. Okay, if we get fractal here, it's already tested that. Okay, what about down here? Okay, we can also come down there. Okay, so big red dot. Now this is getting interesting. We're gonna get some insight here. All right, this guy pulled that liquidity though. All right, do we get enough buyers in here? Let's see. And then trade up into 82 and then maybe 83 and 84. Not seeing it yet. See more sellers here. There's some exhaustion. Now, do we get buyers here? Exhaustion on the sell side, looking for buyers here and looking for them to try to test 82. And then maybe this swing here at 83 and a half, or this liquidity at 83 and a quarter. Okay, there we go. There's 82. Still looking for a little bit higher here. Alejandro, good morning. Yeah, we hold. I'm not going to talk about any Black Friday stuff at this point. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it's going to be offered or not. There's been talk about it. All right, guys. So we got up to this this swing here. That was it. This micro swing, and then you can see selling came back in here. Okay, so look, it's starting to look a little different now, right? We can see sellers hit into this liquidity and try to bring it down into 78, and then basically this 76 and a half level here, but they're more at like 77. Okay, this liquidity here, 76 and 3/4. All right, again, just understanding this range in here and then the order flow within this range. And that's what we're looking at in here. And look at the cluster of selling here. Now, the selling, it hasn't followed through yet, right? So in fact, it broke this level, but it's back up into this range here. So we're looking for sellers to come in right here, right now, and to hit it hard. If they don't, and you can see they're not on the offer here, we're looking for our buyers to come in here and then lift it into 83, 84 basically. All right, now this is small stuff, small ranges, but we're watching it here. All right, here comes some buying. They got to break this level here on some heavy buying. Okay, else if they don't and they just test it here, which is all they've done so far. Let's bring in Lee. Let's see. Good morning. Can you discuss any trades you personally would have taken, if any, since the open, and how you would have handled them? Always helpful to find out that. Sure. Yeah, I was in meetings all morning long, which is typically the case. I do like this breakout here. I like this on this heavy volume in here. Yeah, I do like that. I can show you something else that I kind of like in here that I think gives insight. If we look at this, like now look here. Okay, now this is going to be fractal, right? There's some buying up here. Now sellers move the market lower in this range, back and forth. We see some buying in here, but they failed to make it any higher. Sellers come in again. Here on this retest here, okay, which is a slightly higher low. There's no selling here. So this is rejecting here. And if we find some buyers up in this level here, I would be looking for them to take it to the other side of this small range. What I want to cover is this right here. All right, so this area here and that double bottom here. Okay, so now we're going to extrapolate that out to something over here. And let's see if we can find it. Well, you can kind of see it. Maybe I thought I well, here it is. Yeah. All right. So here, buying here actually made a higher high, comes back down, sellers here, retest back up to here, comes back down, no selling here, very little selling here. Okay, none actually. Okay, so and it's a higher low as well by just a tick, but it doesn't matter. If we start to see buyers come in, and I don't really see them come in until about here, I would look for them to take it up to the top of this range here, and then this range here. Okay, and that played out pretty nicely. But so this is something I would be looking and watching for, and I'd be looking for those buyers in here. I probably would have, to be honest, Lee, I probably would have gotten in. I probably, maybe in here it's kind of risky because it still didn't quite make it. I mean, if I'm really aggressive, I would get in here, right? And I would scalp it up to here. Take some off and look for a bigger move as well. The bigger move starts to really unfold. You can see the buying up in here, the lack of selling here. Once you start to see this buying in here and you start to see it again here, it looks pretty good to trade up into to 70. Okay, and then I would front run it. I would take some off at 69 3/4. All right, and so depending on what time frame I was looking at in here, if it was a scalp, I would have been kind of in and out, maybe full position out up here as a scalp. With a higher time frame, I would likely be holding that, looking for a bigger move. I would have been stopped out. I would have maybe taken some off at I don't know, maybe up in here. Maybe I wouldn't though. And I'm just trying to be realistic with this. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. I'm just trying to be realistic. We do look at these levels in here and we'd match them up with liquidity, right? So if that's the case, then I definitely would have been out of some on the higher time frame. I would have been out of some up here for sure, right? I would have moved my stop to break even, and then I would have been stopped out here. Right now, I might be tempted to get right back in. I might be tempted to get right back in. Hold on just a moment, guys. Sorry. All right, no problem. Okay, and then because we can, this is the beauty of being a retail trader, of getting right back in if we see something, and then look for maybe taking some off up here, front running it a little bit. This would be kind of another little scalp in here, but this one you'd hold as a runner, and then look for the higher liquidity up in here or up in here. All right, now if you did that and you move your stop to break even, you'd still be in this, or I'd still be in it basically, looking for a bigger move up into this 80 level here. That would have been my target, and yeah, I probably would have been out. But again, then this webinar started and there was, there's no reason to get out here, right? We talked about that. So this is where the trade management on the higher time frame it's up to you, or it's a little tricky. And what time frame are you trading? Okay, and that needs to be determined. So if you're like day trading, meaning that you are getting in and trying to ride a longer position, you'd still be in it basically. And you would still be in this, in fact, because it's still making it. All it did is come down and test this 79 level here, which again, if we look at structure, okay, there's a kind of a structure here, and then there's kind of a structure here, right? So you'd still be in it basically. All right, so I'm trying to answer your question and be realistic with a hypothetical chart or a scenario in front of us. I hope that helps. And I'll try to take some trades maybe pre-market or post-market, and those will be helpful. Okay, I haven't done that in quite a while. You can go to my Twitter feed. Let me see here. It's I think you might find this helpful. Let's see. Yeah. Try this. All right. And here's why. Let me show it. So, boy, it's been a while. But there's some trade management in here that I cover. All right. So you can see some of the trading activity here. Yeah, here it is here. You can see it in here. All right. So yeah, I got in here, took some off here, moved my stop up and front ran this liquidity here, you can see. Okay, so you can see I actually had it above it first, and then I moved it back down, and I didn't move my stop. I moved my stop here to overall break even for the position. Okay, so in this case, in this example in here, I let this run. Right, it was a higher time frame move, and it's not that much higher time frame, but I had this kind of outlook here that this was going to continue on, right, at least up to this liquidity up in here, and then got out here. Okay, so in this case I moved my stop to break even, but overall break even. Makes sense? Okay, and so I think I put that into the chat. Yeah. Good morning, David. All right. So okay, well look what happened here. We just traded up to 86 and heavy selling coming in, guys. So yeah, that's again, like this heavy selling all of a sudden coming in. I'm out. This was, is it still bullish? Yeah, kind of, but I'd be out. I see this heavy selling coming in, and I can always get back in. All right, so that flexibility, and you don't want to drive yourself crazy about that, having that kind of power and flexibility. Larger players would love to have that kind of flexibility. They cannot. They have other powers though, and other flexibility, but we can kind of jump in and out very, very quickly. Okay, but you don't want to. You may want to make sure that when you if that's what you're doing, then make sure that there's some sense to it, and there's high liquidity up here. I like to front run the high liquidity, get filled in front of it. Other people had the same idea in this example here, and anyway, and then move my stop to break even and try to get a runner out of it. I see this heavy selling coming in though. Like I'm looking for the next position. All right. All right. So anyway, guys, this is again, we're taking these higher time frame structures in here, and then looking at order flow within them. And then it depends on the time frame that you're trading and the risk that you're willing to take. Mr. 123, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm glad you find these helpful. Yeah, we zoom in, we zoom out, we see the structure. It's all fractal in here, so you know, you'll see it again and again. Now this is kind of throwing me for a loop in here, right? It was really bullish, and all of a sudden, like, someone came in and just is annihilating this market right now, or at least from 85 down to 78, right? Pretty quickly, right? Stop run to the upside in here, stop run to the downside here. Okay, and we're right in the middle here. Now this is something we can talk about this, but we talked about these volume events, and we talked about, God, who is it? They came up with the name for this. It was great. Just important volume event, or something like that. Significant volume event, instead of like you know, initial balance. We talked about the initial balance the other day, a Friday, in detail, and then here, like, we talked about what it actually meant. What's the essence behind the initial imbalance? And it's about the volume in the first hour is very, very high. It sets the direction, or it's a key, gives you key insight because there's so much volume that is trading during that time. Well, this is like kind of a similar event in here. In fact, it would include all of this. It would include all of this volume, right? It would include all of that because it's all pretty significant volume in here. And then now we're looking to see, like, this is no different than the initial balance. Okay, now we're looking for what is unfolding around these levels here. So let's just even mark it up. And this will be a good experiment to show. Okay, 78 to 86. All right, so what does the market think about these moves in here, and the volume, this significant volume that just picked up? Okay, well, it's right in the middle right now, or it's kind of at the bottom edge here. Okay, do we get sellers here? Do we see the order book like coming down lower? Yeah, they are lower. They're down here at 82.5. Okay, well, buyers can bring it right back up here again. Okay, but let's take a look here. And this will help you stay out of this chop in here as well. I mean, you know, if you want to scalp it, yeah, you'd be looking for, you know, you're taking a leap here of faith kind of, and just saying, well, it's at the bottom edge. I don't see liquidity in here. I'm just going to, you know, try to take it up to here, 81.5. Boom, I'm out. That's it, right? That's kind of a leap of faith. There's nothing in the order flow here except that we're in a range. We don't know who's in control here. We see some selling in here. We see some buying in some of these other areas as well. So we're just looking for a quick move. And the order flow in here, or the order book in here, is kind of dark, right? So therefore, we're just going to look for this back and forth action. Buy the bottom edge, dump it off up at 81.50 here. Okay, so, you know, not a bad idea. It almost did it. Actually, the best offer went up here, and it looks like there's one more attack here. How do we decide? So Mr. 123, like, when we have order flow structure and we zoom out, we have another structure. How do you decide how much we need to zoom in? Well, I would say whatever it gives you clarity. Yeah. Scott calls them M volume events. Okay. Like button. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, guys, hit the like button if you like this. This always helps us out. Subscribe to the channel. It's really helpful for us. So yeah, please hit that like button. and subscribe. We've come up with a whole bunch of new stuff in here. We covered the Tradermap Pro yesterday in some detail. Very interesting product that we just released. It's with Global Plus right now, but it's an MBO product. It only works with market by order data with CME Group futures and Rhythmic. Mr. 133, okay, thank you. Yeah, you hit the like button and you subscribed. Excellent. If you guys have questions on that from yesterday, we can go over it. But let's see. I want to get into how do you decide? Well, this is what's kind of nice is there's no time frame in here, so we're looking at what gives us clarity in here. So look at this now. Well, we drew up these trend lines, right? We're still bullish here, but this is not looking too good now. Okay, I'm looking for a bounce off of here, to be honest. And then the move, where can this move? If we see enough buyers, right, let's look at this microstructure. I'm looking for buyers right here, right now, and big green dots in here, these guys to pull this liquidity here. If we get that scenario, then I think we're coming right up into here, 82, 83. All right. So that's one scenario off of this trend line here. Okay, now we didn't get that yet. All right, still looking for it though. Let's see if they come in. All right, buyers, you've got it. Let's see you lift it, 81. Now look how dark it is underneath though. I don't like seeing that. We don't like that. That's not high probability there, right? Sellers can easily do this. Right, so they did exactly that. Now it looks like they want to break it. Okay, so let's see if they've got enough selling pressure here and hit 75. Again, I don't like it yet again. They're on the bid here and it's pretty dark up here, so we can see a stream of buyers reach 81 or 80 here. Okay, that's what the auction is telling us right now. Okay, so see how it opens the door for these buyers to kind of lift that up into these areas here. All right, so let's zoom out. Let's try to answer this question. So we got some heavy selling down here. It did make a lower low. It's making lower lows in here. All right, now if we can see we're making another lower low, we need to see buyers up here. 79.5. And again, I don't like it. I just, you know, there's like a vacuum in here of orders. So it's easy for the sellers to bring it down to 77. So what do? Nothing. We're looking for something higher probability. Holder B, holder 8 or holder B. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. Thank you for the compliment there. Yeah, I mean, what we're trying to get some insight here, and this is a higher time frame level as well. You know, we got structure and we have a trend line here, and we're trying to get some insight, and I just don't. We're not getting it right now, even we're zoomed in here. Okay, so all right, so now this is looking better, but be very, very careful here. We need to see these buyers up here. They still haven't made a higher high here, and a lot of times it may even get a higher high and then fail and then watch the cascade to the downside here. All right, so we'll read it here. Now we're getting some buyers here. Okay, that's good. All right, so yeah, I would have missed it, and I'm fine with that. I'm still waiting for the opposite scenario in here. Maybe let's see if we get it or not. That's pretty good buying. okay, up into this swing. Yeah, I mean, they're on the bid here at 80. I see that high liquidity here. So yeah, I mean, again, I would miss it. I'm not going to take this, but if we get enough at 81 and a half, this should be like a flag pattern in here. Okay. All right. So we stayed away from it, and it still may play out, but heavy selling, and they took this liquidity on. Okay, so we're watching still. All right, so there it came back up and retested here. Yeah, still not seeing much right now. I'm looking for these sellers though. I think this might be a false kind of breakout here, and then this is where this is the range, and the break of the range that we're looking for though is right here, right? That's going to be the trap volume we're looking for here. All right, so here come our sellers. No, nothing yet. And see how we stay away from it as well. Like again, it's kind of, you know, dark in here. We don't see them bidding or offering down at a lower level in here. So these kinds of moves back and forth, like, let them unfold. There's some exhaustion here. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of insight maybe. Okay, that buyers can't take it back up to here. All right, so I would be looking now for this. Okay, even though we don't have much on the offer here, I would be looking for sellers here at this level, 81 and or 80 and 3/4. That's where I need to see sellers. Okay, and I would miss this, and I'm fine with that. Like, I just don't see it in here. All right, so let's see. So the areas without limit orders, sellers. Well, so no, I mean, basically we're looking for like something in the order book to give us some insight here. And the we're looking for maybe a skew in the order book, or, you know, something, them bidding up at an area here, and they did bid up here, but sellers did take them on. So we had the potential in here, and we're looking and waiting and watching for the possible break of the trend line back down to just back down to this kind of 77 level. And we didn't really see anything in the order book in here that really told us too much. Okay, I thought this would give us a little more insight. It didn't really. Okay, so we're going for the high here, back up at 86. Okay, I just don't see it still. So you know, I would have missed this. I mean, we're looking for surety, something where Johnny, don't yeah, actually, Johnny, I do mark up the higher time frames. Um, we have Zuckerberg news, really? Okay. I do. I didn't go through them. I just during these webinars, what happens, Johnny, a lot of the times is I jump right in, and we don't look at that higher time frame. We see some really interesting stuff. It almost happens every time. Like there's something interesting that unfolds, and then I cover that, and we don't look at the higher time frame. Okay, so that's what usually happens. So we can take a break from the order flow in here and look at the higher time frame. All right, so you know, it looks like it wants to come up into 4,000, but yeah, I don't see much liquidity up there at 4,000. So let's jump back. Let's take a quick look here. All right, so I've got that daily here on the right, hourly in the middle, and the 15-minute on I'm sorry, the daily on the left, the hourly in the middle, and on the right is the 15-minute chart. And let's get some insight here. Okay. Okay, so we gapped here, basically kind of filled the gap down here today, and then we're back up. Yeah, we still see some buying up here. This back and forth in here, guys. This is the same things that we've been talking about in terms of structure. I'm going to get the pen tool out. I really don't like using these drawing tools in the RTrader Pro. So let's just get the pen. So here's our structure here. And then you can see it bouncing and create a new one here, right? With these wicks, bounces off of it and it creates a new one up here. Okay, and then it might be breaking out of that one right now. Now on the hourly, we see something a little different here. We have this kind of structure here, and it's trading back up into your levels, our levels up here. Okay, so yeah, yeah, no, Johnny, I really like looking at the higher time frame levels. Like I said, we just jump in and look at the order flow. And you can see even on the daily chart here, it's pretty close to this level up here, close to 4,000. Okay, I would say looking at the daily chart, it's likely to do that. It looks pretty bullish here on the daily. But what we're looking at, though, is like there are wicks up here, even on the daily. Okay, well, and this is where it failed here pretty hard before as well, the other day. Okay, it gapped up and then you know, immediately sold off basically. Okay, so I think if we can get up here a little bit higher, likely we're going to see some selling. Okay, that's where the sellers came in before, and we'd be looking for them again. Right now we might not. We just might get this. It might just go right up into some of these other areas. You know, probably up above 4,000 a bit. Okay, so again, we're going through scenarios in the order flow, and this is order flow in my mind. The whole thing's order flow in my mind. And I use the same ideas here. We can look at a candlestick chart, 5-minute candlestick chart, and start to read the order flow within the 5-minute candles. So yeah, the context here, holder B, is like the context is about in the order book is to see the reaction to the buyers and sellers in here, right? So look at this one here now. Now this is there's a wick here, and you'd think, well, there's a wick on this green candle here too, but I don't like it. There's a lot of buying up here. That wick is made up of a lot of buying. Okay, it might be trap buyers up here now. That's true. Let's see. Okay, so now the way you would trade your candlesticks is you're looking for a break of this range here. You see your doji here, or your shooting star, whatever it is, and although it's green here, you see how it's bouncing off of it and retesting back up here. All right, so now if you're bearish in your candlestick, this might be a good entry here, right? It kind of retraced half that candle, and you'd be looking for your sellers to come in and then trade right back down to here, 86. Now we're going to read the volume though, and we're not going off the candle, we're going off the volume, and we're looking at the order book, and I would not touch that right now. This is looking pretty good on the bull side. We already knew, and here they come, and likely here to break it up into 90 and 91, 92, 93. Okay, now again, I wouldn't be taking this again. There's just too much room for the sellers to shoot right back down here to 86. Okay, so and that's exactly what they do. There they go. Now there's your candlestick pattern, right? Okay, it rejected up here a couple times. Now what you're looking for in your candlestick pattern is yeah, there they are on the offer. All right, so let's see now what happens here. Did buyers take them on? Yeah, they did. They took them on. So again, not seeing much, not getting that kind of clarity in here. Okay, so staying away. You know, I would like to see the sellers come in again and then move it down to here, back to the top of this range here, 82.5. I don't see much liquidity down there. Classic band. Yeah, I called it. Well, no, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what it's going to do. This makes me kind of leery though. Like I'm not interested in getting trapped in this, right? Just not interested. It's happened so many times, and there's good reason for it to happen. There's just not orders in here. There's not as many orders. So to come back down here is you know, more likely, and that can help you with your trading. And now they're on the bid here. Now the question is, on the bid here at this 84.85 level here, are they is the reaction buyers? And it is, right? We're finding buyers. So then let's see them try to move it right back up to 89 here. Maybe we will get a breakout into 90, 91, 92 at that point. They took these guys on, okay, at 87. And we're above it still. I just don't like it yet again. I don't see the clarity here in the order flow. It looks very like slop. It's kind of like the slop here. Maybe I can like if this analogy makes sense, it's kind of like the, when you play pool, and I don't know, I'm not much of a pool player, but like you're playing 8 ball and you have to make the call. I'm gonna 9 ball into the corner pocket or whatever, but it can't touch any other balls. If it does, that's your slop. Or let's say you hit it into, and it doesn't go in the corner pocket, it goes in the side pocket. Well, it went in, but it's not where you wanted it to go, and that's slop. I mean, there's just a lot of slop in here, and a lot of possibilities for other outcomes to unfold. So, and the order flow and the auction here is basically, telling us that. So we're looking for edge. All right, well, let's read this candle again. All right, so we saw the drop below this. This turned into another trap below the range. The buyers came right back in. This is why candlesticks, you just be really careful with your candles. Know what's the order flow within it, the volume and the order book within your candle, and this will help you tremendously. I mean, God, if you like your trading your range bound trades, you don't see something in here in your candlestick pattern, and then you don't, or I'm sorry, you're looking at a candlestick pattern and you don't see any clarity in the order flow, I would say likely that's higher probability for a range bound trade. Okay, we're looking for a more directional move in here, but if you like doing that, then this is range bound galore. Okay, sellers coming in. All right, now I'm really curious down at this bottom edge here. I'm looking for a lot of selling in here. Let's see if we get it. Let's see if our order book supports it. They are pulling here on the bid. They are coming down on the offer. Okay, we're not getting our sellers here, but I'm looking for them, 84. And let's see if we can break this bottom range here and then trade maybe down to the top of this one here at 82. Okay, and again, I just still not really seeing it in here. Okay, there's some exhaustion on the buy side. Do we get our sellers here though? All right, it's looking better for this to unfold. So yeah, I'm looking for it. They're on the offer here. I want to see them pull here and pull in here, and they're not, but I'd still look for these sellers to try to drive this lower. Okay, so it's not as high probability as what we're looking for, but it's got some of the pieces we're looking for. Okay, not a trade recommendation, and I wouldn't have taken it, but we can make the call at least for the directional move a little bit more likely, put it that way. Okay, we made a lower high in here. We're making a lower low here as well. Yeah, now they're on the bid and we're finding buyers. See, so it's again, this is we're not getting much out of this session here. We're trying. Fed speaking right now. Okay, thanks, Space Cowboy. Yeah, it helps you sit on your hands. Yeah, exactly. Classic man. The order flow helps you just kind of like not get all kind of worked up about, oh, look at the CVD and look at this candle pattern. You know, if you saw heavy selling down here, that'd be something different. That would be something different. And you saw this bid come down. The bid did, or the offer did come down. All right, so let's see if we get it here. All right, we're still making lower highs in here. I'm looking for sellers right here, right now. And they should hit into 80, 83 down to 82. Okay, looking for those sellers right now. Let's see it, sellers. Hit it. No. They just didn't show up. Right? We're looking for them. They just didn't really show up. This is actually, I mean, it's been a good day in the sense that we're reading it correctly and objectively. But we're just been a horrible day in the sense we haven't seen anything. Here we go. This is looking better now. They just flipped the book a little bit here as well. As you can see, high liquidity on the offer. We found some sellers. Be careful with this though. I still don't really like it. I would say the directional move, it should break the trend line here. I would be looking for the break here. But I don't know if I would be jumping into this here. Okay, it's just not as clear still. Come on, sellers. Yeah, they should do it. I'm looking for them and looking for the follow through. And all we're looking for is a move down to here, take some off. 80, 82. RJ, you want to take a look at Nvidia? Sure. Yeah, Bert, I hear you. You'd like to see more liquidity at 4,000, yeah, as a magnet. Yeah, I agree. Bernhard, good morning. Yeah, guys, really seriously, like this is where like we're looking for some sort of edge here, just in order flow alone. And we know what that edge looks like in here when we go through these different scenarios. All right, so what Bert says just got whipped on that instant flush back down. You know, that's what we just don't know this kind of move in here. You know, it's more likely that this move will unfold when you can see that they're not supporting it here and staying in the order book. And because where did it go? It went right to here, and then it went just maybe a few ticks lower, but this basically stopped it down here, this liquidity. Okay, and then a little bit more here, liquidity as well on the bid. That stopped it here. Okay, so the sellers were able to easily move it down to here. Okay, and then buyers were pretty easily able to move it right back up as well and retrace back up to here. So, you know, we stayed away from the move to the upside here because this might happen. That scenario, it is more likely to happen. Let's jump over to Nvidia. I have Amazon and I have COP and Tesla. wait for some data in there. All right, well, trading up to 86 liquidity, and they're staying in the book, and they're getting filled in here. Again, still not getting much insight here. Now, one insight we may get is we're looking for a stop run to unfold. Okay, so now they're on the bid here. All right, let's see if we can get our buyers in here. They're on the bid underneath here. Looking for our buyers in here. And then again, I still don't like it. It's just when it really hits you over the head. But we're going to look for this move up into 88. Okay, and it might turn into a bigger move into 90 and our 93, etc. Let's see here. Right, see that we got a little more insight in here. A little more insight. They were trading into it. We want to see them kind of pull, but look at them add on the bid, and we're finding buyers. Okay, so still looking for this to go higher. Okay, 88. Yeah, they're still on the bid here. All right, so yeah, it's looking better and better here. It's kind of gotten away from us though after this little insight right here. Well, here's the pullback. Here's our chance to get back in, right? And the thing is like, do we like it still? It's like now they're on the offer here. Yeah, I don't really like it. So again, guys, when we see the high probability setup, like we did earlier when the webinar started, that was easy. Okay, so there was like no reason to think otherwise. And we're looking for the move up. God, I can't remember. I mean, I know we started at 10. And then we saw these moves. They're on the bid. This was nice because they were a little bit higher time frame. Seeing them up into these areas here, we're looking for our 85. Well, first we're looking for our 80 to test, and there was no reason to get out. We still found buyers in here. They look at them, see them on the bid in here. This is what gave us insight. They're on the bid. They're on the bid in here. We're looking for it to trade up into here, right? This was easy, or easier. These are the components we're looking for. What are the sandboxes? Not sure what you mean, Logan. On your screen. Where? Down here? When I zoom in. On the ES? I don't know what you mean. Oh, I'll let you reply there. Let's take a look at this Nvidia range bound boxes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, we were just going over analysis in here and like structure. We're talking about structure, and that's how we started off, and that kind of relates to I think Johnny was asking about, don't I look at higher time frame structure and levels? And yes, we do. But I started off. This is exactly what happened. I started off with these levels in here, and then that got the discussion going. Yeah, we talked about this as a pullback, and it went a little bit below. We drew up these lines in here, and it went up a little bit below, and then it came back into the range. Great. We're looking for those buyers to take it to the other side of the range here, and then we didn't see any selling starting to come in, so we're still looking for this to go higher, right? We were bullish for those reasons. And the webinar started here at 10, so we were already kind of up here, and we saw tons of buying up here, right? So this was a move into 80 was, yeah, we started off in here. The move into 80 was the high liquidity there. They're on the bid and here. We're finding buyers. We're looking for 80, and then maybe the follow through up to 85. Okay, and then went through some trade scenarios as well. And then we just kind of got stuck and missed this one in here. Didn't like it, and for a number of reasons. We're looking for it, a bounce off of the trend line or the break of the trend line. And then the buyers did shift it here, but just wasn't convinced about these moves up in here. Okay, and then they came in again in here, and like this looks pretty good in here too, but like I just don't see the support on the bid, and you know, I'm gonna shy away from it. All right, so now let's see what's happening, and then we'll take a look at Nvidia. Okay, so here's our move up into here, looking for sellers again, bottom edge here. We're breaking the trend line, looking for our sellers here. Let's see. And I would probably jump in on this one. Yeah, I would have jumped in right in here, and looking for first target, probably down. Yeah, probably down here. Front running this at around 80.5 or so. That would be my first target. Okay, I know that was quick, guys, but like we saw it here, leg one, pull back, leg two, finding sellers here, looking for them to drop it, and then take some off. I would be out half a position already, and then holding it here. All right, so it's not a trade recommendation, but we're just trying to go through, you know, what we see in the order flow, and we gotta react quick. This is what we had, pulling here. Oh God, where were we? All right, they're pulling on the bid. They're on the offer here. We're finding our sellers. We're looking at our structure here. You can even look at your candlesticks in here. It's looking pretty good that it wants to drop. Okay, so we captured that. We'd still be in it, and stop at break even. All right. So, and yeah, I don't know, like overall target, stop at break even. Maybe we can get down to 77 here, 77.5, our line in here. That would be a good area. And then maybe we can get even more selling in here, and it'll come back down into some of these lower levels here, 70 or so. All right. So anyway, did that make sense? I know that was really quick, but can you kind of see it in here? Like that there was some, you can kind of read it in here. You can read that it, you know, they came up here. This is as far as those bulls came up. It exhausted here. We see some selling coming, nice selling in here, bottom of the range in here, leg one, looking for that follow through leg two. The candle was looking great as well, looking for taking it down to our 80.5 and taking some off in front of this liquidity here. Okay, stop at break even. Okay, so let's see. I don't know if that made any sense to you guys. Let me know. Yeah, and okay, well, no, we were in up here, right? 80. No, where did we? No, in here. So stop at break even, stopped out at break even. All right. Now this is where you got to go in and kind of like, you know, maybe you want to readjust your plan in here, you know, and kind of rethink it. Today's been really back and forth. Okay, overall we're bullish in kind of the bigger picture if we look at this. Okay, and the daily, the hourly, we're looking for the move up into this 90 level, potentially here, 91. And then here's our 15-minute. All we did was come back down into these wicks down here, and we're finding buyers yet again. All right, so well, then maybe it'll trade back up into the high of the day here. right? Makes sense, right? On this candlestick on the 15, hourly, and daily. Well, let's look for it then. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, like, if you saw this, maybe you'd be managing this differently and saying this is like counter trend. I'm going to take all off here and then flatten my position. Instead of, you know, get stopped out at break even, and you don't lose anything, but you could have made more, could have made double. Okay, you're looking for 93 and then down. Okay, Brad, yeah, sounds good, makes sense. All right, so let's see if we get anything bullish in here for the move higher. Yeah, it's already unfolding. Look at the bid. Look at them supporting it in under the bid here. They traded into this liquidity here at 85. All right, so let's see if we can get, now they're starting to pull it though. All right, let's see if we get buyers here. 84 3/4. Nothing. Nothing. Okay, so 84 3/4. Let's see it. There they go. All right, so now looking for buyers to take it up to 86. Look even better now. Look at that bid. We found buyers. Look at them pulling here on the offer. See how this looks better, so much cleaner. Okay, it's still not as easy as that sell, I thought, but this is doing it, right? So again, not a trade recommendation, but yes, we are looking for this to go higher now. I like it. It's got these components that we're looking for 88. Take some off up here in front of it. Okay, let's see here. It's just gotten up to this line here and this structure up here. Okay, but we're looking for follow through. Okay, becoming a little more convoluted now. Still holding though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like this idea too much. I like it on the higher time frame a lot. I don't like it on this time frame in here too much. The buying looked good, the bid looked good. They're pulling on the offer here. That looks pretty good. So now we're looking for the buyers yet again in here, and we're losing some of that support on the bid in here. All right, so here they come. Now they should be able to move it up into 88, and that would be the first target in here, would be kind of like, well, front running like these guys are here at 87.5, basically, which makes good sense, right? Here's the swing. All right, the one thing I like I said, I don't really like this structure in here too much. I do like this structure though, on the hourly and on this 15-minute. That looks pretty good. And the daily. I like all three here. All right, makes sense that it should come up into this 92-ish. And here's, yeah, 92-ish as well. And this is our 88 level up here. The 5-minute MACD close to cross down. Okay. Yeah, I don't really look at indicators like that, Floyd. All right, let's just jump in here again. Let's look at these, some of these microstructures. I think it might be the most helpful here. Again, like, well, here, looking for buyers, then the 86. Boom, just like that. They're on the bid, looking for it. Looks good, looking for buyers up to 86. As simple as that. Okay, if it doesn't work out, I'm out. And I'd be out. Right? And again, these aren't trade recommendations, but we're going through the process again and again and again so that we can look for something that's higher probability and recognize it and then jump on board. Okay, and then the lower time frames, they, you know, these kinds of moves, they don't happen, or they happen all the time, but they fail more frequently. Okay, so just note that. Okay, now we have a nice trap as well. Again, looking at buyers at 85, looking for them, move the 86, and this has the potential for a breakout now as well. Okay, we just need to get those buyers here. Okay, you jump in, you take some off at 86. I know that's only a point, but you're looking for bigger than this actually. Okay, now I'm not recommending you trade like that, but just understand, go through these scenarios really quickly. This will help you so much. So you're already out some. Boom. Okay, now let's see if we can get higher. 88 up here. Okay, now this could turn into the bigger move. Right? What if we see massive buying here? And we might get that now. That we're open to that scenario now. Okay, we're in our position. We're looking for the and again, this is all hypothetical. Like, it's not a trade room in here, but we're looking for the move up into 88. This might turn into the bigger move that we're looking for, up into what Brad was saying, 93 and down. I kind of like 92 better, but let's take a look. All right, well, there's liquidity here at 94. There's also some here around 92. Okay, and 95 as well, so maybe even 95 on the bigger move. Guys, one thing about some of these moves in here, and then we just went through really kind of like, you know, what, like lightning round on you know, looking for this order flow event and then looking for 88. Another thing I want to mention in here, we're looking for it. It still might happen. It's kind of bouncing off of this structure. See the structure, right? So let's see if we get our buyers back up here. Now this is where trade wise or management wise, if you took some off here, is maybe move your stop to overall break even, right, which would be a point lower, right, 84, right? And in this case, yeah, it might be the last gasp right here at 84 and a half. Might get right here where it broke out from, but that's where we might get our buyers. If you don't, you got stopped out of break even, and that's what happened. Okay, so overall you made nothing on that, maybe a tick to cover your costs. Okay, but you were open for the move. It just didn't unfold. It wasn't ready. We're waiting, watching, looking for that order flow event. Now again, these are just, it's just going through the examples. And Leo, or I'm sorry, Lee had asked about that, and some others asked about that, and we just didn't see much today. So we saw a few, one in the beginning. We saw this move to the downside. We're looking for that to unfold, and we're looking for this move to potentially unfold up here to the upside. We just didn't like it quite as much, and we're positioned for it, and we got stopped at a break even basically. But the idea here is we're looking for the order flow to support our scenario or our direction. Okay, Brad, you're looking for maybe 4003 or 4003, maybe, right? So, and then here we go right back again. See these buyers come right back in again. All right. So you got stopped out of break even. You could, again, like I wouldn't, it's not a recommendation. Like, and we don't, this is not as high probability, but the concept is the same. They're buying back up above this range, okay, our range here that we keep marking up into the top of this range here or this up here. Okay, so let's see if we get it. Okay, this is where our buyers are in right now. All right, so we can even look at micro, you know, really kind of zoom in here, and it's just not playing out right now. Okay, we need to see even on these smaller time frames. We're looking for the order book here. We're looking for buyers here. There they go. All right, there they go. And it was, see how short-lived that was, and look at, they were both on both sides there. All right, so this was still had a skew on the bid. Okay, it's kind of, I know going over it, and it's kind of ridiculous because this algo came in here and did this, right, for a very short period. Okay, now look at them on the offer, right? So wow, okay, that's a shift. There they go. All right, this is European close. So we're going to get some volatility in here. All right, here come our buyers. Great. Let's see what the order flow looks like. Yeah, I want to see more on the bid, but I'm looking for 86. Yep, found a few buyers here. Yep, better. Looking for buyers, looking for 86. And see, it shifted, and it shifts and changes in here. It came in at 85 and a quarter, and we didn't find buyers. See how they came in at 85 and a quarter and stopped that from happening. This is looking pretty good. They're pulling, they're on the bid. Now they're on the offer. Where are the buyers? Not here. That's why we're really looking for it to hit us over the head in here. We get those buyers in here. We'll see the move up, and then we're looking for follow through. Okay, that should be a stop run. It is. Anyone that got involved in here just got stopped out. Okay, so now based on the stop run, we're looking for if this is going to stop everybody out and come back into the range. If we can get some buyers up here at 84.5, we're not. We're getting sellers. Okay, we zoom out a little bit. Not looking too good for the buyers now. Looking for more of these sellers. Maybe move it right back down to here. Okay, where this move initiated. See that? Okay, so yeah, that's starting to unfold. And there's our order book flip a little bit. This is one of the reasons why I don't like to go over. I like to go over the low time frames. I love to go over these examples. I just don't want it to be confusing. Looking for clarity in here. We're looking for these moves to unfold due to one reason or another in the order flow. But when we trade these or look at these lower time frames in here, things shift and change pretty rapidly. And then that can lead to a lot of confusion to other traders. And then it's harder to get those ideas across. I mean, it can be so back and forth, right? Nvidia. What about Nvidia? Wow, it's looking great. I'd be looking for 160 in Nvidia. It's starting to pull back a little bit, but or breaking out less so, but it's still looking good. Let's see if they buy off of this right here. Again, looking at structure in Nvidia, some structure in here. Looking for this to fail and then come back, maybe get to 159. Okay, they're on the bid though down here, 157. All right, let's see if we get our buyers here right now at 57.90, and then a move up into, well, 58's here, but I'm looking for a 58.20 liquidity. Okay, looking for a false breakdown in here below this area, and then buyers to come back in, trade it to this 58.20 here. Okay, see the reaction here. Whoever asked about Nvidia, see the reaction to that liquidity in here. See how this came in here, and we found some sellers. They don't. This repelled buyers here, right? This is how the order book can affect price. Okay, now you get down to a lower level in here, you're going to find some interest in buying. Look at this. Look at this algo in here. Pulls, adds lower, pulls, adds lower, pulls, adds lower. There's another algo on the other side pulling and adding higher, but it's having little effect, right? Little effect here. So yeah, that's kind of what's unfolding at the very current moment here in Nvidia. Let's see here. Okay, now here's high liquidity here, found buyers. Okay, great. Let's see here, looking for, this would be your pullback here. Looking for buyers, you'd buy in here. Now you're looking for maybe taking some, now on a smaller time frame, taking some off here at this 90 level here. Okay, or maybe your 158 level. Okay, does that make sense? I know that was really quick as well, but you can see it, same stuff unfolding here. We see the buying starting to come in. Okay, the liquidity here found more buyers looking for the move up into R90. Okay, now it did it. Not one transaction though, up into 90. It looks like. Hold on, let me double check that. So you probably wouldn't have gotten filled there, and that's part of the game. Especially with stocks, this happens a lot. Yeah, it did not, nothing traded up there. Okay, here they go again. Now looking even better. Let's see if we can get more buyers in here. No, not looking so great. Look at that. The high liquidity filled with the sellers came in. All right, we don't want to see that. We want to see that high liquidity repel the selling. Okay, there's buying pressure. They want it. They're going to go for it. So yeah, looking for a nice breakout here. I think not only 58. I think we can come up to 158, 50, whatever it is, 16, 17, or 18 up here. And then I think we even have the potential to break that and trade 158.50 here. Okay. Now see how you jump in on something like that, and look at how much easier that is. You're just riding it at this point. Okay, stop at break even already. Okay, and then if you didn't take some off at 158, you certainly would at 158.50, or right in front of it. Yeah, there you go, RJ. Yeah, there's your move, right? And so you would have taken some off, but look at that flip of the order book and look at this move. See how much easier this is? It's just so much easier when you read it correctly, and you look for these things to start to unfold, and then you can just kind of get in on this move here, instead of all the back and forth, and the stress of the back and forth. Okay, so I think that's a good way to end this here. We see the same moves unfold in the futures markets all the time. Okay, and we wait, we watch, and you look for that kind of imbalance in here, and then we also kind of recognized in here. Now this is maybe comes with a little bit more experience. We see it with stops and icebergs. The stops and icebergs is very helpful. This is going to be a huge stop run in here in Nvidia, but we don't know that because we can't see it. We don't have that indicator in here. It doesn't work. They don't offer MBO data. But we're going to assume that because there's a lot of selling in here, and then all of those sellers got it wrong, right? And they're going to be buying in here. So once we see them kind of on the hook down here, and we see that we remember how we kind of left off, we saw these sellers come in here, and we're like, no, don't quite like it yet. Then we saw this in here, and it's like, whoa, they're still buying pressure. They're still buying pressure in here. These guys are going to get stopped out. So we're looking for up here at 158 and potentially higher, right? And we said that. Well, no, this we like this one here also at this 17 or 18, but then we said 158.50, take some off, right? And then we can look for our 159, potentially 160 as well. Okay, so this is bullish. This is the bullish move. We're looking for the move up into this 159 and potentially 160. Now, you would have gotten in down here. Okay, and you're looking pretty good. All right, so now just again, look for some of these things in the order flow to give you some insight. We also noted that RJ had wanted to look at this because it's really bullish today, and we found we're looking for the structure in here, and like this to be a false breakdown. It kept pushing it, and then we saw something, and then we're looking for the easy move. And the continuation here. All right, so I hope this is resonating. Guys, let me know. Yeah, just really trying to offer an edge via the order flow. That's the whole goal in here. No matter what you're trading, if it's trend lines, if it's like a triple bottom or reverse head and shoulders down here, if it's a fib level, if it's a volume profile level, doesn't matter. Just look at that and then look at the order flow in here to help give the direction. Well, I don't know, Brad. It might go up there. You might get your move up into. I mean, this is still a bullish day here. Again, this is European close here too, so we're going to see something more in here. And let me take the candlestick off. We'll see something more in here. God, we looked at a lot of stuff today, guys. Look at all this stuff. Yeah. So I kind of like, I hope I didn't drag you through a bunch. Now we can cover this. We can leave it off here. Like the sellers are coming in. You can see them. I'm looking for a couple scenarios though. Again, up here, what if we can come up here and get our buyers, right? So look for them to stack the order book underneath. Look for the reaction to that be green dots, trade up to here, and then looking for big green dots at this point to trade up into our 93. Well, Brad was originally looking for like 90, we were saying 92-ish. He was looking for 93, and then he's looking for even higher here, right? So anyway, this is again another scenario. It's on a higher time frame, but it is another scenario, and this is what we're looking for. And in fact, one more element here is like the liquidity in here. Well, up at this level, we want to see them start to pull. Okay, so maybe they're in here a long time, but they pull here as it's coming up, and again, they're going to push it through. They're on the bid here with high liquidity underneath, right? So, and then try to capture these easier moves. All right, guys. So let me see if there's anything else in here. I don't think there's any other questions. Okay, yeah, guys, if you like this, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. And we'll go through tomorrow we'll start off with the general markets, then Jay Trader comes in and we'll go through some stocks, and we'll see you then. Okay, thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow.